Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Champions of Inspiration. I'm your host, Scott Schilling. I got a great friend with us here today. First met through her program, Unlock Your Success. That's where she uses her triple quantum reset process to truly empower entrepreneurs to release their emotional and mental blocks so that success and growth and extra income and fulfillment comes to your life. She's also the founder of the Athena Circle, which is a community organization for women entrepreneurs who want to live with passion and on purpose and prosperity. And now the co-host of the Global Consciousness Summit. Dagmar Fleming, thanks for joining us on Champions of Inspiration.
Scott, this is so wonderful to reunite. I mean, we've done quite a few of those video live streams and shows together, haven't we?
Absolutely, for sure. So let's go back to the beginning. Unlock your success, your triple quantum reset process. How'd you create all that?
It was truly through a divine inspiration. So I had my corporate career. I even ran my own global consulting firm. But as some say, my soul, my higher wisdom, higher consciousness, spirit, God, whatever name you want to give to it, had a different idea for my life. So I come from a family of energy healers, psychics, intuitives, empaths on both sides of my family, both the maternal and paternal side. So I was born with my abilities to see in the future, to understand why people are struggling, to deeply sense their emotional state. And of course, going through all that corporate career, it was the last thing that I would have on my mind, to be worrying about emotional state of other people. But then back around 2008, my soul came in and started claiming my gifts, which happens to a lot of people. And I was reverted back to my spiritual lineage so that I could help others get unstuck, get moving, and most importantly, tapping into what's possible for them, really actualizing their potential.
So that's how we first met. We were at an event. You saw me on stage and suggested that you could share some things with me that might be of interest to me, and they were definitely of interest. So how do you, when you're working with somebody who might have a block or might have a desire to fulfill their life's purpose more fully, how do you go about accomplishing that with them?
I consider myself an engineer of light. So what that means is everything in the world is frequency. And we are like radio transmitters. We're constantly emitting what has happened to us in the past. We are emitting our limiting thoughts, including the empowering ones. And we receive simultaneously concepts from other people that have been encoded in what we would call the universal consciousness, that field that surrounds, more like a mental plane that surrounds the planet that we are actualizing ourselves in. And my ability is to perceive those blocks energetically, because they're like stones that are lodged into the person's psyche and even their physical body. So think of it this way. If you don't have money, if you're not making all the money that you want and deserve, a lot of mindset gurus will tell you, just try an affirmation. Tell yourself that you're rich, and the riches will show up on the doorstep. It works for some, for most it doesn't. And the reason for that is precisely the foundation of the triple quantum reset process, is because there's one more deeper layer. And at that layer, we have emotional attachment to trauma that we've gone through or negative experience. Those emotions are like anger, fear, shame, sadness, guilt, because something happened to us. So when we are just trying to tell the subconscious mind, I am rich, the subconscious mind digs deep into the core of how you feel and how you perceive yourself. And it says, I don't think so. You're looking at an empty checking account, or you're looking at other people thriving, and there is a dissonance. Just telling yourself that you're rich is not going to change it until you release the reasons that you're not fulfilling your income potential. And in that respect, it could be you're not feeling worthy of the money, or you feel guilty because somebody in your family was earning less than you have, and now you're thriving. So how can you be honoring our elders when things come easier to you? So with the triple quantum reset process, we first release those emotional hangups. Then the subconscious is primed for new self-perception, new concepts, and only then we go on to the third aspect of the triple quantum reset, and that is modifying our actions, what steps we take towards our goals.
And all of that can be buried many layers deep, right? There's just a big old onion that might have a few layers that need to be peeled first, correct?
Yes, because as human beings, it's kind of weird, but we constantly sabotage ourselves. We live in a world where we want to confirm our perceptions. So I'll give you an example. If a person doesn't feel worthy of a rewarding, loving relationship, then they will keep attracting what I call a schmuck, a person that doesn't love them, doesn't appreciate them. And they're attracting that kind of person because they need to confirm this idea that they're not worthy of love, that they are not worthy of a rewarding relationships. The brain is constantly seeking to confirm itself, to find a shortcut to control the reality. Unfortunately, those shortcuts are detrimental to what we want to create. Because when we want to suddenly create a different life, when we say, I'm tired of dating a schmuck, or I am ready to make the money that I want and deserve, something has to change. Our perception of what's possible has to change. Otherwise, the brain will continue us on a path of self-distraction.
Makes a lot of sense, actually, if you start to think about it. I mean, I think we were all born children. And as we were children, we had a lot of influences around us, especially at younger ages. And those things tend to get embedded, imparted, and hang around for quite some time unless addressed, correct?
Exactly. And this gets even more complex because we are multidimensional beings. And yes, there are those that believe that this reality is all that they get. And I respect those feelings. But is it possible that what has happened to us in past incarnations, or even our own genetic line, is it possible that it is passed through generations to us? I'll give you an example. I had a client who was a hoarder, and somebody in her family lived through Great Depression. Well, if you live through the times when things are scarce, where you might not be able to eat the next days, you develop this innate sense that runs down to your DNA genetics that says disaster can strike any moment. You have to prepare. And you end up being very tight with your money, tight with your spending, because you're always afraid that something will not be provided for. In fact, in the middle of COVID, all the people that ran to the stores for the toilet paper, they were exhibiting exactly this kind of behavior. And we can joke about it, but it is something very deep. And the same thing, for example, with disease. If you're a great parents and then your parents had cancer, there's a good chance that you will be imprinted with the concept that my body, I can control my body. I can die any moment from something that I cannot touch, feel, or sense. And you're actually starting to invite this kind of energy into your being and you may develop cancer not because you had necessarily genetic predisposition, but because, as Dr. Bruce Lipton proved in his research, we are being influenced by the environment down to our cellular memory and our genetic material.
Yeah, it's a fascinating topic, and I would encourage anybody who hasn't, one of the things that I suggest, especially when talking around this topic, is suspend disbelief for a period of time. Is it fair to say that you don't know what you don't know? Fair to say that somebody knows what you don't know? Is it even possible, in this example, that Dagmar knows what you don't know? I would suggest she probably does. And so, again, for me, it's about being inquisitive, and the curiosity that comes with it is, as you say, is it possible? There's a lot of things that are possible. So heck yeah, I mean, it makes sense to be curious about it and learn more, at least in my eyes. And that's what I find fascinating, because every time I delve into this, I learn something new.
And the amazing thing is that the science is catching up with what was considered metaphysical, occult mistake, or so-called woo. There is an actual research coming out of Russia that proves that our DNA is absorbing frequency. It was literally put in a dark room, and then the light wave was brought into the room, the result of which was disappearance of the light in the presence of DNA. So I think Russian scientists are bringing a cutting edge developments in understanding that our DNA, and especially brain, which by the way carries crystals that have electromagnetic properties, we are literally having antennas in our brain that constantly receive and emit the thoughts, which are really like electrical currents. So our thoughts are living, breathing organisms. You might not feel them, you might not sense them, but unfortunately, what you think you are, creo ergo sum, is I think, therefore I am. In a way, it's reminding us that we are the product of our thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any doubt about that. I think you can see that what we focus on, we get. What we focus on a lot, we get a lot more of. So it makes a tremendous amount of sense. Now, you took that foundation of Unlock Your Success and then launched the Athena Circle. The Athena Circle.
It was quite a journey. So I always remind my clients who are professionals and entrepreneurs who want to accelerate their growth and fulfill their life purpose. I remind them that life purpose is not just one station that your train has to arrive at. In fact, it is continuous journey that constantly evolves so that the soul can fully realize its potential, perceive itself in all possible aspects. So little did I know that when I started Unlock Your Success and all the programs that came out of it, that was just a beginning of a journey. I thought it was maybe one of the final stations in on my track. Turns out it was just the beginning. So the Athena Circle grew out of that desire to work with entrepreneurial and professional women who want to understand who they are at a soul level, what unique gifts they are bringing into this reality, and how can they leave their legacy through impact on those that they wish to serve. So the Athena Circle is an organization for those women who want to really tap into their own potential, do it surrounded by their soul tribe, which are women that are equally motivated and passionate about fulfilling those passions in life, and really serving the communities that they live in.
I mean, it sounds pretty amazing, actually. And I remember when you and I were first talking about the fact that you were going to launch the Athena Circle, and you excluded me immediately because I'm not a woman. And it's like, some things are just not fair. But I totally, but I understand at the same time. So I think it's, so what has transpired out of the Athena Circle? I know you've got a great group of women in there that are learning and growing. There's got to be some amazing stories so far.
Yes, so oh my goodness, it's been expanding because one is we are very keen on personal and professional growth. So we meet various times a month for learning, for example, how to create the vision for our business, for our career. So we host workshops once a month. We have these monthly membership calls where we get to know each other. We do emotional check-ins. What are you struggling right now? And then we started creating circles within circles. So we had the Astro Journey Circle that allowed women to tap into journaling and even some may say channeling their own inner wisdom so that they can apply it to their business and personal lives. And also understanding how the astrology influences us through frequency, because the universe is a dance of frequencies. So while most people understand astrology as, oh, if you're in the Aries, then today you're going to find something XYZ, that is a very simplified understanding of multidimensional consciousness, where everything in the universe influences us and how we show up in the world. Recently, we started the Butterfly Circle, and there we are seeking thought leaders in the spiritual and personal development community so that we can look at their bodies of expertise and assimilate that into our personal lives. We also do retreats where we travel to sacred spaces around the world to tap into the energy of this planet and the ley lines, the sacred ley lines that carry like crystals information about us, who we are, and what our potential can be. But there is so much more that's coming out of that group.
So are there any, you certainly don't want to break any confidentiality, but are there any amazing success stories where somebody just blossomed completely coming through the process?
Oh my goodness, we have so many testimonials from women who broke multiple times through their money ceiling. And what that simply means is they've given themselves permission to show up in a bigger way and earn money that they so rightfully deserve. We have women who were passionate about being a speaker and will call me and say, you will not believe, I just got booked for my first speaking gig and somebody's actually paying me. We have a lady that wanted to be a writer and never perhaps felt that her expertise would be appreciated or that others would resonate with. She started publishing her articles and is thinking about writing a book. So these are the examples of where we have these things in the back of our mind that we always wanted to pursue, but we needed an environment that's safe and sacred that allows us to come to that group of women and say, well, I've always wanted to be XYZ. I haven't quite had the courage to do that. And we as a community, without judgment, opinion, stereotype, or prejudice, allow each other to blossom in that desire. And one of the things that the Athena stands for, we are actually named after Greek goddess Athena. And the reason she's our leader, so to speak, of our consciousness is because she stands for two values that are very dear to me and to our group. One is pursuit of truth. And that's your truth, the truth that resides within you, and being okay with that truth. In our circle, we have women who are Muslim, Buddhist, shamans, herbalists, nature-based, Mormons, Christians, you name it. We've got all political affiliations. We have all sexual orientations, because we want the truth of you to shine forward without anyone taking anything away from you for who you are. And the other value of the Athena is an absolute dedication to pursuit of our purpose. Every single one of us has been put on this earth to deliver certain mission. It doesn't have to be big. It can be when we step into it, but it's so unique that each one of us have unique fingerprints. So no one can deliver that mission for you. You alone can fulfill that. And within this circle, what we want to promote for each one of us is desire to say, yes, I am unique, I am special, and I'm here to serve others, even if I'm just a shoe repair person. And that's how I show up in the world. And if that's my purpose.
Well, and the reality is everybody has their purpose, and it's not the same for each and every one. So I totally understand that. Well, then you catapult off the Athena Circle to now we're about to have the Global Consciousness Summit. Tell us what that's all about.
Well, we're so absolutely excited about. So when the Athena was created, I knew immediately that our mission is global. We have to unite beyond women, beyond the divine feminine, to bring into balance both masculine and feminine consciousness, but most importantly, to allow people to bring spirituality into their personal and business life with confidence and without feeling in any way that it takes away from who they are as professionals. So Global Consciousness Summit is on June 18th, bringing the biggest thought leaders in consciousness today to tell us about the shift that is happening within our minds, the great awakening that spurred out of the pandemic, which has been encoded in the consciousness for eons of times. It's showing us how we can upgrade our mental, physical, emotional infrastructure to become the next human being, how to tap into our potential. So if you think in terms of a computer, if you've always been running on Windows XP, it's time to upgrade to Windows 11. And in this summit, we're bringing the energy healers, the psychics, but also personal development experts to show us how to show up in the world at the next level of our consciousness, how to upgrade ourselves to what else is possible within the new paradigm of human relations and capacity to architect our lives. Because as science proves, the quantum physics, we are creating the reality based on what we desired to show up in it. And when we take the responsibility for our lives, that's when we can change it. That's when we can manifest. And as Einstein said, there are people who think that the life is without miracles, and those that see everything as a miracle. And miracle simply means I am ready to claim my place in my reality, and I wish to mold it based on what my desire is. When we take the reins of power, that's when we create the life of our dreams.
So how is give us a little bit of the format of the event on on Saturday, June 18th.
Well, that's the part that's really thrilling because we designed this event to be so interactive, where both speakers and an audience are equally participating in discussion, in perspectives. We really want every person to have voice, to comment on what speakers are doing as initiating the topics. We will have networking with other high vibrational people, so you can feel empowered, inspired, and motivated to take action in your life. There will be panels, there will be even immersive activities, meditations, clearing processes. So trust me, you will walk out changed, transformed, simply by coming into this event, as you mentioned, that's running on Saturday, June 18th from 10 a.m. Central till 4 p.m. and then with the VIP party from 4 to 5.
So there are experts in quite a variety of different areas. Give everybody a little flavor for what kind of expertise will be there.
Thank you. Thank you for asking about that. We have experts in self-healing. Moira Leville is coming to talk to us about the power of mind over the physical body, but also how to eradicate both disease of the mind and the disease of our physical vehicle, so that again, we can step into what's possible for us. Tonya Donorekla is bringing us an amazing multidimensional process that she will lead the audience through to again release those emotional and mental hangups that you may have about what's possible for you. So that will be a super experiential, fast working process that you will experience directly on your life and can witness the results of later. Mark Baldazar is of Mind Acceleration, is an expert in the law of attraction. So he is going to tell us how to manipulate the physical reality so that it conforms to bigger, bolder, better perspectives, and how to work with that energy so you engineer your own success. We have Carol Maureen Friesen logging in from Costa Rica. She's my dear mentor, and she is an amazing expert in body matrix. She will actually demonstrate that during the summit, where she can look at your face and literally describe every experience you've had in your life just through the portion of your body, and then how to release that so you can go into the higher consciousness. She's also an amazing expert in Mayan cosmology. So you'll learn phrases like red serpent or blue dragon and what that means. Because as you know, Mayans predicted this shift of consciousness, and their concepts of astronomy were so precise that NASA these days only now can confirm how precise they were in their calculations. So we have such an amazing area of speakers that I can go on and on, but you will have to come in and tap into this program, which, by the way, as my background says, it's untapped, unleashed, uncensored. So everything's on the table. All questions are valid. We just want to expand our horizons.
So it's definitely an event that people should take advantage of to either fully immerse themselves in because of the interactive nature of it, or dabble, put your toes in the water, learn just a little bit more and potentially open up your mind a little bit more to what the possibilities could be, correct?
There will be a little bit for everyone, whether you're just at the beginning of your awakening journey, or if you are already advanced and want to understand how to transition faster from third to fifth dimensional consciousness, and even what's there beyond that for us. Trust me, we've got a little bit for everyone. It's like an appetizer of all summits that will be coming after the Global Consciousness Summit. There's just so much need, so much information, and so much expertise, yours, Scott, included, that's joining this movement of consciousness that me and my co-host Joy Willett decided to actually host a series of these events and dig deeper into the topics of empowerment, where the spiritual self, professional self unite and merge so that we can emerge at our grander version.
Well, and I think that that's the thing that many folks have lived through over the last few years and recognize the world has changed, and There's actually the slowing down, the being at home, it's allowed people to really understand and awaken that there are different ways of doing things, that there are more things out there, that there are great opportunities for them to learn. And this event is going to be one of those places to learn a lot.
A lot. And I'm gonna plug in shamelessly the opportunity to upgrade your general ticket to a VIP pass. Trust me, it is a no-brainer. Our general ticket is only $11. And by the way, that is a master number. So you'll notice that everything that we do evolves around higher consciousness concepts. So 11 being the number of spirituality and you tapping into your inner wisdom. With the VIP pass for $57, 5 being the catalytic change, and 7 alignment with your spiritual self, your spiritual capacity. So for just $57, you not only get all the recordings with the processes, meditations, and activations that will be happening during this event, you will also have opportunity to mingle and network with these amazing speakers and sponsors. And by the way, thank you to Scott Schilling Speaks for being such an amazing supporter and a sponsor of our event. So you'll have opportunity to speak with Scott and others like him that have come to support us. But most importantly, okay, this is not a secret. We've tapped into the untapped resources of our sponsors and speakers, and you'll be getting over $2,000 worth of gifts from these amazing experts. These are the workshops that they are releasing to our VIP holders. Meditations, activations, trainings, processes. Oh my goodness, the list is endless. So visit our website, tap on VIP gifts, and trust me, that website is being updated every single day because we have so many gifts coming in. We just keep adding and adding and adding. I presume by the time we reach the summit, there will be over $3,000 in free gifts to our VIP holders. Just for $57 if you buy it before June 18th, and then $97 on the day off. So don't be crazy, jump on this amazing offer.
Yeah, and we will include the link with this as we publicize this show and put it out and about. So please utilize that link to take advantage of this opportunity. Again, thousands of dollars in bonuses. Well, it's just a great opportunity. Gosh, craziness. Less than a couple bucks a day in a month. Less than a cup of coffee. Are you kidding me? So, Dagmar, we will post the link with everything. Thank you for being here today. It's hard to believe our time has run through, but we want to make sure that we say thank you to you and thank you for setting up the Global Consciousness Summit.
And thank you, Scott, because you have been my mentor. And for those of you who look at me and think, wow, she's talking so easily, I remember the times when I had to call you in panic saying, I have an interview coming up and I'm frozen. I can't even talk. So my gratitude goes to you for really teaching me how to be a speaker, how to present, how to inform. So for those of you who need some speaking abilities and showing up on the biggest stage, please contact Scott because he is an amazing expert, not only in the field of teaching us how to be professional speakers, but how to connect with our audience and how to create a win-win situation for all. So thank you, Scott. I wouldn't be here without you.
Well, thank you for the kind words. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us on Champions of Inspiration. We'll see you again, same time tomorrow. God bless.
Thank you.